A man wakes up chained to a steel table in a windowless stainless steel room. The only thing in front of him that he can see is a camera on a tripod that's aimed directly at his face. Man's calm, he's almost smug. He cracks his jaw and he just starts whistling this weird tune. His whistling is immediately broken by screams coming from next door. It's the sound of a man begging and screaming, I don't know, I don't know. And then you can hear some kind of torture happening in the room. Jack, who's whistling in this smug demeanor, immediately changes, like he recognizes the voice next door, and he starts contorting uncontrollably. But then the steel doors crack open and 3 men walk in. Police. The lead detective, Chief Inspector Iago Manel, sits down, clicks the camera on, and says, state your name. Jack doesn't answer. His body tenses like that name really hurts him. Manel then slides photos across the table of 4 dead women. And he tells Jack, you came to us to confess, now's your chance. Jack then automatically switches his persona and turns into this Hannibal Lecter-esque character. He leans in close and he whispers, I can tell you things only the killer would know. And he does. He gives them little details about each murder, enough to sound real, but never enough to really convict him. Because Jack isn't confessing, he's performing. And while he's performing, he leans in with this weird, creepy smile, stares at the inspector deep in the eyes, and says, I'm going to kill your wife and your children. Immediately, the room goes cold. This awkward, weird suspense is broken by the chief inspector's phone ringing. So he picks it up and answers, and immediately his face turns white. He turns to the other 2 detectives and says, they found us. Clean up the mess and get out of here. Chief Inspector storms out fast, leaving Jack and the other 2 behind. But within seconds, boom! The door explodes open and another detective charges in. Gunfire explodes everywhere and the 2 so-called detectives drop dead. This detective who's barged through runs over to Jack, unchains him and throws a blanket over him and comforts him. And that's when Jack finally learns the truth. He wasn't the killer, nor was he ever a killer at all. He was a homeless man who had been kidnapped, tortured, and brainwashed into believing that he murdered those women, all to protect the real killer. 3 detectives interrogating him were running a covert operation, and they were very corrupt, working for someone high in power. Jack, whose real name was Malcolm, is eventually released, and he's a shadow of the man he once was. But days later, Jack is walking through a really nice, rich suburban neighborhood, and he's holding a map. Stops at this beautiful house, he checks the address, nods, and then walks up to it and knocks. After a couple of seconds, a woman opens the door. Jack smiles, that creepy, weird smile, and he says, hello, Mrs. Manel. Is your husband home? Because even after being saved, Jack still believed he was